Hi everyone, Caroline here. Question for you. Do you feel like your relationships are dragging you down? Like they're slowing you down because you want to move on your ascension journey. You want to go deep into your spirituality and really expand your awareness and your consciousness, and you're trying to do whatever you want to do, but oh my God, no. Someone in your relationship is kind of slowing you down and you're just like, oh my gosh, if this person was not here, I probably would have accelerated and gone on in my journey. But this person is here, so what am I going to do? Do you ever feel like those things are like interfering in your relationship, or that one person is in the way? And what's going to happen to that person if you move in a particular direction? And that direction is obviously if you continue on your journey of consciousness. So because of this person, you're just like, okay, now let me just stay here because I don't want to leave this person behind, or maybe I should try to do something to fix that person or to help that person jump onto this same journey that I'm on so that we can all go together, because it's going to be so much easier if I go on this journey with this particular person. Do you ever feel like that relationship is slowing you down? Man, this thing is something that has caught a lot of people, or is affecting a lot of people, or some people basically. Let me just put it that way. Some people are so affected by the relationships. Maybe it's your family. Oh my gosh, what's going to happen if I stop having the same beliefs and move into a new belief that's taking me where I need to go, because now I'm remembering myself? What happens now that I'm no longer agreeing with what these people want me to agree with, because now I am my own person. I am listening to myself and my spirit is speaking that I should move in a particular direction, and I'm in agreement. What happens to me now? I'm no longer going to be the person that people expect me to be. I'm no longer going to be the wife or the girlfriend or the partner or the whatever that people expect me to be. I'm not going to be the beloved child of my mother if she finds out that, oh my gosh, Caroline is into these other things. And because of those kinds of sentiments and how I want to be perceived by my mother, my husband, my spouse, my children, or whatnot, or whatever, I just am not willing to deepen my journey. Honestly, as an awakening being, I really believe that these kinds of thoughts are really dangerous, because they keep people in circles, because we are afraid that we are going to lose the people that we love. Yes, we believe that we're going to lose the people that we love, not understanding that we gain everything. We gain everyone in the end if we only can break away from these kinds of thought patterns and beliefs. And the most important question really when these things are occurring to you is to ask, how are the people, the relationships, the ideas that you are dragging along at this point, those belief systems that you're holding on to at this point, how are they fitting into the equation of where you are going? And if you are going on a mountain trip, would you carry these same people that you're holding on to with you? Would they drag you down and give you grief until you just gave up on that journey to the mountaintop? Or would they be people who would give you energy and energize you so that you can reach the mountaintop? These are the questions you have to think when you're holding on to these relationships that are slowing you down. And I'm not saying that these people are bad by any means. And I want to say this. These people in our lives, the people we have in our relationships, serve a purpose. They serve a higher purpose and they play roles. And those roles are very helpful for us because they help us shed our old layers and help us step into the new versions of ourselves. I'm telling you, relationships are not an accident. And some of the relationships we have, obviously, are relationships that helped us in the old versions of ourselves. When you were those old persons going through certain things, we of course attracted people to ourselves that helped us and supported us in the roles that we were playing at that particular time in those specific playgrounds. But now we are no longer playing in those old playgrounds. I am not playing in those old playgrounds where the old version of myself existed. You are not playing in those old playgrounds where the old version of yourself, the old you, was. We have all moved to a new playground, and in that new playground we need new playmates. So these old relationships that we are holding on to, that we are thinking are going to save us or are going to go with us, are not going to go with us because their roles are over. The jobs that we used to hold that we really thought were something at that time, and they probably are for whatever reason, but if they're dragging you down, their roles are over. The old ideas that we used to cling to or that are still clinging to because we think, oh my gosh, this is going to save me, are no longer holding those same energies because their roles are over. It's a new day. Why? Because it's a new you. It's a new me. We are new. And our playmates and the playgrounds that we're going to be playing on, or that we have to start playing on, is a new playground that matches the new version of ourselves, the person that we have evolved into, the people that we now are. It's a new day. And those relationships, they gotta go. They gotta go. Okay? So people really help us in so many ways. And it's not always, the goody, goody, goody. You know what I mean? Sometimes the bad really helps to intensify you to come out of a situation. Man, I remember, even I had some really weird hostile relationship with a relative who really didn't like me, and thankfully that person is now gone. You know what I mean? That person didn't like me for whatever reason, and I could never really wrap my head around it because I really had never really offended the person in any way. I was just like kind of tolerating the person because that person was married to someone, okay? But the person didn't like me and always exhibited some very passive aggressive attitudes toward me. And on a higher level, it's not like the person was bad. The person was just playing a role for me. And that role was that it helped me deal with my anger issues. You know what I mean? It really brought out some things within me and made me face them square on. And while the situation ended up being resolved and the person is no longer in my space, and that's what usually happens. Once you have dealt with an issue or have had an experience with someone who has helped you in some way, those kinds of experiences seem to end. You know what I mean? You won't meet someone on repeat that is going to be doing the same kind of thing because you have dealt with a thing. And that's what happened to me. So I'm kind of thankful the person is gone. Thanks, but no thanks. Yeah. So if there's one thing for us to take away from this whole thing about relationships that we are holding on to, or the relationships that we have with others, is that people play roles, and those roles, they create within us an intensity to change. So sometimes you can really be emotionally charged by a relationship or by an experience with some other person, and there's always a reason. And the reason is to create an intensity within you, to compel you to move out of a situation, to change and to evolve and to grow out of that thing until that issue becomes a neutralized situation and you are in a better place. Relationships really should not be the things that are dragging you down. Get with your own program. There's no time to waste. You have places to go, things to do. You have you to be. The light of you is here to shine, and no one should hold you back. No one should hold you back. At least if you're on that consciousness path and you're one of those people who have decided, me, up leveling, then up level. Forget everyone else. Why? Because those people also are on their own journey and they know the same things you know on an intrinsic level. They too know those things and they too will evolve because they too have guides who are guiding them. Just like you are being guided, those people are also being guided. So no one is being left behind. You know what I mean? And everyone has chosen where they need to go and what roles they need to play. But if you're here to play a role which is rising up and going as fast as possible, you better do that, because even those people are on their own track and their guides are also as awake as your guides are. No one's guides are sleeping. All right. So let me know, are relationships slowing you down and dragging you down? What are you doing about it? I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.